Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Green Room Podcast. I'm Matthew Brune, and joining me for this very, very special episode is Colin Mitchell.
This is our
Colin,
special edition every year.
this is every year North Texas versus UTSA special edition, special podcast. Might have a special guest next week, but we'll keep that on the back burner for now. But Colin, how you feeling? How you doing? How's everything?
I'm doing great. Rested up well. I don't know what you want me to say every time you ask this.
I just want like a overall status report. If you're healthy, if Maya's healthy.
I talk to you every day.
Yeah, but is Maya okay? I haven't seen Maya.
She's good. She's lost some weight. She got up to 70 pounds. She's lost 5 pounds. So
I was concerned about her for a while.
Concerned?
I got my Capri Sun ready.
Capri Sun ready.
Stocked back up for this pod.
You gonna go through a whole pack?
I swear they feel cheaper every time I go to the store. They're just standing there. They're staring at me like, you don't have $2 for this? I was like, okay, I have $2. I'm sorry. Let's do it. But yeah, North Texas versus UTSA preview podcast, Colin. This is it. This is the game we've all been waiting for for the undefeated North Texas Mean Green 3-0 in conference play against UTSA. I have a lot of thoughts on this game.
Me too.
But I think I'll let you go first. But actually, before we get started, let's just remember, let's have a moment of silence for how awesome last year's game was.
Yes. Okay.
That was the moment of silence. There you go. What a win that was. I was just looking back on it. I can't believe they went in there, well, at home, I should say, in the rain and won that game and just crushed UTSA's soul. And I loved it so much. I'll never forget posting it on my Instagram story, being like, and just posting the final score, the graphic, the North Texas graphic, and then having all my San Antonio people swipe up on it and just being all salty the whole time. It was great. I got to call my dad and just talk so much trash to him.
Do you ever feel like a heretic because you're from San Antonio?
A heretic?
Yeah.
I've never used that word.
It's like when you go against conventional thinking. Let me look up the definition.
See, I would feel that way if I didn't go to North Texas. It's not like I actually like UTSA as like a program, and Jeff Traylor's cool and everything like that. I have no problem with UTSA.
Yeah, it's a person holding an opinion at odds with what is generally accepted.
Okay. I feel like you do that more than me, just in general in life. But regardless,
wow.
But regardless, when North Texas plays UTSA, the bragging rights, and this is what college football is all about, right? This is what sports in general is all about, is the bragging rights. And it's being able to just go up to your UTSA friends, be like, we are better than you. We own you, and there's nothing you can do about it. We're going to move to the AAC next year, and we'll do the same thing. So I think in the all-time record, it's 5-4 to North Texas at this point. And obviously last year's win was the sweetest. If North Texas somehow won this game, I don't know what I would do with myself. Colin, if North Texas wins this game, we have to take a shot on air. Of it. You still have the Jack Daniels?
No, I have tequila. That I've had one shot from.
You're gonna make me go buy tequila?
I mean, you can just have whatever you have if you have anything.
I have nothing, Colin.
It's my engagement tequila.
That's I know you sent me what is it? Bachelor? No, not bachelor. Groomsman present.
Oh yeah. I guess no one knows that I'm getting married sometime soon, hopefully. Listen, next year's crazy, okay? I'm at that age. It's when you're getting old, when all your friends are getting married. It's just kind of, we didn't plan our wedding fast enough, so now everyone else has their wedding, and now I have 3 to go to next year.
Yeah, all my friends are getting married. I mean, really. So you're just one included in that group, even though.
Yeah, now I don't know when it's gonna be.
You don't know when it's gonna be. But anyways, regardless, if North Texas wins this game,
shot
on air.
Okay.
On air.
Okay.
100% filled to the brim.
Would it be like a?
I have to also buy a shot glass. I don't know. I have nothing. We got to go buy everything.
Just drink it out of the. Just take it straight out of the bottle.
Straight out of the. Just swig.
Just swig. Quick swig.
Okay. Let's get into this game a bit. North Texas is a 10-point underdog on the road in the Alamo Dome at UTSA. What are your thoughts? What do you think about UTSA? And what do you think about just the game in general?
You know what you told me last week, Bruni?
What'd you tell me? What'd I say?
When North Texas was a 6.5-point underdog. Or, sorry,
favorite.
You told me that if a team is favored by a touchdown, then they should win.
I did.
This is that same scenario. I would maybe have hesitations of UTSA not winning if this was a home game for North Texas. It is not. North Texas has historically been bad in the Alamo Dome. And UTSA is historically good still. Let's just go through some stats, shall we? Frank Harris is crazy right now. This dude has 2,300 yards, 15 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. Austin Aune, for comparison, 1,700 yards, 17 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. I don't know about you, but that is a stark difference. And
they have the better quarterback, that's for sure.
Not only that, receiving-wise, I don't know his first name, because I'm stupid and should.
Franklin?
No, DeCorian Clark.
Oh. Okay, yeah. They have a few. They have three legitimate receivers here.
Yeah, he's their leading receiver.
DeCorian Clark, Takar Franklin, and Joshua Cephas. God, I can't speak. Sorry.
Yeah, he's the leading receiver in terms of yards. He has 7 touchdowns. North Texas leading receiver, Roderick Burns, great guy, 402 yards, 1 touchdown. Obviously, he's not the red zone threat that like Jair Schroeder is, but still same in the same breath. The only thing UNC has going for it this in this game is its run game, and I'm not sure that matters. Just because they only allow 169 rushing yards per game.
Yeah. The way, at least the past 2 years, and this is me watching UTSA. The way to beat UTSA the past 2 years, to me, obviously North Texas, the outliers in rain, and they kind of ran all over them. I don't have the stats in front of me, but it was just kind of an overwhelming effort there. But to me, when I've watched UTSA, play Western Kentucky last year, when they've played some games this year, Army threw for like 300 yards or something on them. I feel like the pass game is the easiest way to beat this UTSA defense. A UTSA defense that's not as good as it was last year. I'm looking at right now, like the EPA stats have them 91st in the country in EPA per game, which is just an advanced metric for points added, whatever. They are 56th in rush defense and 91st in pass defense. So, yeah, it kind of speaks to what I'm saying. It feels like the pass game is what they're more susceptible to this year, especially when you lose Tyreek Woolen at corner, who's now a freaking starter on the Seahawks now. And they still have good players, and they have a really good culture that you watch their game against Houston, and you watch the game against earlier this season against it wasn't Texas. I mean Texas. Yeah, sorry, that's what I was like, why am I blanking? Because LSU played at the same time that game. Anyways, you watch the game against Texas, and you're just like, this is an incredibly well-coached team. Every time you watch them, they never look overwhelmed. Like, yeah, they might not have as much talent as Texas, but they're gonna go, play for play pretty much with them for 3 quarters. And then Frank Harris threw us a pick 6 and the dam breaks. But still, it's a team that I think might not be getting enough credit. I mean, if they beat Houston that week 1 game where it was just such a gut-wrenching loss, 37-35, it's a team that I think probably should be ranked.
Yeah, it's probably ranked. They're probably ranked again.
If they beat Houston, like, I know they barely beat Army in overtime, and the Western win wasn't super convincing. I think Western's pretty good, but like, they might be ranked if they were 6-1. So I have nothing but respect for UTSA, and I have nothing but good things to say about UTSA. I think Frank Harris is the real deal. I think he has another year of eligibility, not for nothing.
What?
Which would be insane. Somebody told me that, and I was just like, is that true? I need to confirm.
He's been playing since 2019.
Bro, he's a year younger than me. I watched him as a junior when I was a senior in high school in San Antonio. And so I guess, I don't know. That's what I heard, though.
How old are you again? 23?
I'm 24 and a
You're
half.
24, and this dude has eligibility still? All right.
That's what I'm saying.
He's about to be
Hendon Hooker from Tennessee is 24. Hendon Hooker from Tennessee, the quarterback of Tennessee, is older than me.
That's weird.
Isn't that crazy? That's crazy. So I guess I'll let you respond to what everything I just said, because I kind of rattled off a lot of points there and how good I think this team is overall.
I mean, I agree. I just said that they're going to win. That's the difference between North Texas and UTSA. In my eyes, is that UTSA and North Texas probably have the same amount of talent. It's just the difference is how they've been coached up. Obviously Seth has won 8 conference games in a row, but you made a point earlier how UTSA never looks like they're shaken, whereas that is not the case for North Texas. If something happens, you're kind of like, all right, well, it looks like a field goal or 3-point deficit is insurmountable to try to get back over. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's kind of been the theme. Anytime they're down, it's like, okay, I don't know how they can come back here. And then not only that, we can also talk about, like we talked about last week, their schedule has not been hard up to this point. All their wins have been against bottom, we can go down the list, 15 teams, and then one was Texas Southern. So, yeah, I'm not convinced that this will be a game.
Now, here's what I will present my rebuttal to you, Colin.
I think you need to disclose to the fans that you put some money on the line.
Well, I have no problem disclosing that, because I've done it the last 3 podcasts. But let me do my rebuttal and then get into it.
Okay.
2 things. The first thing is I sent you this tweet. Greg Luca, who I believe writes for the SA Express News. This is a tweet that he said from Jeff Traylor.
I completely forgot about that tweet. Gosh dang.
Asked to grade UTSA's health 3 days before pivotal matchup against North Texas, Roadrunners coach Jeff Traylor responded, F for failure. Nursing injuries at O-line, D-line, and running back, UTSA has to push through one more game before the Week 9 open date. So, and this isn't anything new. If you've been paying attention to UTSA, they've had injuries along the offensive line the entire season. Like, they've been starting freshmen. They've been starting walk-ons at offensive line. They have been just piecing it together. What has gotten them out of it is obviously Frank Harris at quarterback and the 3 receivers. An elite pass game, like top 20 in the country. That's why the total for this game is like 72-73. It's going to be a shootout, 100%. Now, that's the first thing, is the injuries for UTSA give me a little bit of pause when evaluating them, because there are several times this year where they haven't been able to overwhelm teams because of these injuries. The second thing is I just went on a long rant about how I think they're super well coached and they don't get rattled, and they're, go play with Texas and all this stuff. The last time they looked rattled, Colin?
Well, when they played North Texas?
It's when they were in Denton and it was raining.
Yeah.
And North Texas jumps out to a 17-3 lead on them. DeAndre Torrey just punches them in the face repeatedly over and over. Then they muff a punt. Then the dam continues to break. North Texas wins 45-23.
You want to know something, Brune?
That's the last time.
You want to know something, Brune?
And for that reason, Colin, I think North Texas, I'm not going to say they're in their heads. I'm not going to say anything like that. I think there's a confidence with North Texas at this moment. After we've joked about the Memphis performance, yes, sure. 2 wins since then. And now going into this game, I don't think they look at UTSA the way that a lot of the country does, or the way that I think even you and I look at them. I think this is a winnable game. And for that reason, to go back to your earlier point, I have placed my own money, a wager on North Texas plus 10.5. If they lose, it will not be a blowout. UTSA will have to fight and scrap this win away, which they've done. UTSA has won very close games against Western, against UAB last year. They've pulled out some really, really close wins in the Dome. It's hard to beat them in the Alamo Dome. But North Texas will not be scared, and I think that they hang in there and have a real chance at winning this game.
I don't think. You said the dam broke. They were in Denton last year, the run game. Yeah. Luckily, they're in a dome. There's going to be no rain. Nice climate controlled. They're at home.
The dome.
Home crowd, $10 tickets. I can tell you right now, the dome's going to be pretty full, I bet.
Yep.
I want to believe that it'll be close. I really do. but I am terrified that this is going to be the case of they finally play a team that's not a bottom 15 team. And we've been looking through rose-colored glasses up to this point with their wins. Because obviously, I mean, we got to give them credit, right? Like FAU, we had that as one of their wins, but we thought that could be, an issue. Or no, we had that as one of their losses, sorry. La Tech, always a hard game. We go through the whole schedule.
Texas Southern and UTEP were there.
Texas Southern and UTEP. UTEP was obviously a big game. Texas Southern, whatever. Obviously, all of those things, all those wins, we got to give them credit for. But I don't think that UTSA is on a different level than La Tech, Florida Atlantic, UTEP, who's we've seen has been one of the worst teams in college football, and then obviously Texas Southern. I need to see that they can play a close game against a team that is playing within its own element. And I say that because Memphis was a win on paper, but they clearly weren't playing the way they normally play with Seth Hennigan. And I can tell you right now, it wasn't because North Texas did anything crazy on defense. So that is why I'd like it to be close. I don't want to be the guy that comes up here and goes anti-North Texas. I want them to lose or whatever. I just genuinely think that this is setting itself up for, let's get everyone hyped. Last year, 45-3 a couple of years ago. We're going to take them down again. David versus Goliath. I think the cards finally fall the way they were supposed to fall. And UTSA kind of comes out and does their thing.
My only concern, the only thing that I think can let this get out of hand is Austin Aune throwing interceptions.
And that is my concern.
That's the only thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not even saying one interception. Like,
yeah,
if it's intercepted and they get the ball in like the 20, like their own 20 UTSA does or something like that. I'm talking about the pick six caliber interceptions. You can't come back from those against this team at all. And I think UTSA is the best team in the conference, and I will 100% stand by that. But that's what, and I don't know if you have anything else on the game specifically, but I think that's why this win, and we kind of mentioned on the last podcast, it can single-handedly, I think, save Seth Littrell.
Oh yeah, no, this is the game. This is the game that can single-handedly. Sorry,
it's okay.
You want to see something cool?
Do you want to see something cool?
My mom got me this. Maya.
What the world is that?
Just sprays air, makes them stop. Isn't that crazy? Just like a little.
What?
I was amazed that it worked. You can yell at her all you want. You just spray this little thing. She's a dead attention right now. Maya, come here. Come here.
What in the world?
Look at that. Isn't that crazy?
Like, that is absurd.
It's amazing. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I agree with you on the picks. Because I agree that there's a reason why this game's over under 72.5. But that is what North Texas offense clicking. And I think their run game will definitely click. But is Austin Aune able to match Frank Harris? I think he has the ability to. But if the mistake, because he's been hot. I mean, obviously, a couple picks here and there, a couple weird throws here and there. But he's shown me that he's able to make certain throws that I didn't think he could make before. Whereas now I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to continue that in a game like this, where there's all this pressure. And like you said, you have to match them. If they're going to win, it has to be a shootout and it has to be close. They're not going to do what they did last year and beat them by 20 points. They're not going to do what they did a few years ago and beat them by 40 points. This is going to be a close game. And the only way North Texas has a chance of winning is if Austin Aune is able to go toe-to-toe with Frank Harris. Because let's be honest, their defense isn't going to be able to do anything.
Yeah, I agree. I was looking at when it was like the total was like 68 or something. I was like, oh, I'll take the over on that. And then it just kept going up. So we were talking about Littrell as well.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
It's
okay.
My
point on that. Sorry.
You got sidetracked with the little
little sprayer. She's still staring at it. I don't know if you can see.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, I mean, this is the game that can single-handedly save his career because up to this point, like, where is your big game? And this is the type of game that if you win this and you do your, the other ones that we expect them to get the rest of the season, you could lose the bowl game, I think, and still keep your job. And that is just because UTSA is one of those games where they're considerably better than you on paper and schedule-wise. And if you beat them, you've kind of shown, okay, hey, Conference USA and UTSA aren't, just a done deal right now.
Well, to me, what we've been looking at this whole year is the teams that they're going to go into the American with, SMU and Memphis.
Yep.
Right? There are two teams that they've played, and they lost both of those games.
Yep.
And the SMU game was obviously the biggest indicator to us that they're not ready, that this program is not where it needs to be in order to go to the American. Now, they beat FAU, who will also be going into that conference with them. La Tech will not be, but they're 1-2 basically against future American opponents at this point. UTSA, if they can keep Jeff Traylor around, they will be one of the better teams in the American for the foreseeable future. Like, they will continue to rise and continue to be a competitor with a team like SMU atop the American. And so that's why, for me, this result holds a lot of weight because, we want to get on them for the UNLV performance. Yes, we should and we will. We want to give them credit for the La Tech performance. We should and we will. But at the end of the day, the results against these American teams, the teams that really are going to matter next year and the year after that, are, to me, what hold the most weight.
The tryout teams, basically.
Yeah, these are the teams that you have to show like we are on their level. If you go out and get blown out against UTSA, and then you continue to lose to other teams that are going to be in the American, and you end up with your only win over FAU, it's like, and let's say obviously Rice is going to the American too. I think Rice is actually a decent team this year. They're not awful. So it's like you have to start showing like we are capable of being in this class with Seth Luttrell. And that's why this win specifically would, I think, alleviate pretty much everything. Because FIU is an automatic win, right? You don't even have to show up for that game. And then if you can just maybe win one of Western, Rice, and UAB, that would put you at 7-5 with a UTSA win on your resume. I agree with you. At that point, bowl win, I don't think would matter as much. And I think he would be probably safe. If you beat UTSA, you are looking at like a 90+% chance, I think, of Luttrell being safe.
Yeah.
I think it would have to go tragic wrong down the stretch to not be in position. Because again, you would have beaten UTSA multiple times as if you're Seth Luttrell. You have I think, like you said, on talent alone, I think that they are on a similar level. And Luttrell has proven that now, even though the SMU game didn't go the way they wanted to, the Memphis game they fought, FAU they won, and you beat UTSA, you're at least holding up a paper like, this is my resume this year. And I think it's good enough.
Yep. I agree.
All right. Let me see.
You want to get into our picks?
Yeah, fix my camera. Okay. Let's do picks, predictions, over-unders. I'll tell you right now, I'll start off the over-unders. I don't have the full stats in front of me here. Let me get them up. I want to do Frank Harris passing yards prop.
Oh God.
And I'm going to do, because I do think this game will be a shootout of sorts. Man, 2,300 yards in 7 games. He's averaging 300. What is that? 328? Yeah. 328 yards per game. Over under. Let's just do 350 yards for Frank Harris. Over under. Let's see what against Texas.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking.
Army 359, Houston 337, Middle Tennessee 414, Western 273.
It's crazy he's putting up these numbers without them scoring like a crazy amount of points, like 300 yards. And I think that they're going to score a lot of points. I'm going to go.
Well, under. Another thing is, wait, what'd you say?
I'm going to go under.
Okay. Another thing is, the run game hasn't been as good as it was, obviously, since Sincere McCormick. Right?
Yeah.
So you have Brendan Brady, who was only averaging 3.9 yards per carry, and I don't think he's a real potent back. So it's a lot more. Frank Harris, 3 receivers. We're throwing the ball every time.
Yep.
And you said, I'm sorry, what'd you say again?
I said under.
Under? Okay, I'll say over.
I think he's going to be running just because he's going to be able to.
Yeah. I mean, if you watch the UNLV game or any of the games this year, quarterbacks have been able to run pretty frequently on North Texas. So, all right, Frank Harris, 350 yards. Colin says under. I say over. You have one.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm going to just keep the same prop for over-under on score, 72.5. What do you think?
I said I was in on the over at 68.
What's the math there on that? It's like what, 40? I guess
What,
it's 41,
72 and a half?
41-32.
Oh, you're asking about like a spread, potential spread? Yeah, something like that.
I'm just thinking like I'm just trying
42-31. Yeah.
Let's go over under 74.5.
Under. Just do it. We can stick to 72.5 if you want. I'll take the under on that too.
Okay, I'll go over.
5. Here's a good one, because I actually think with UTSA's offensive line questions, Frank has on the ball a lot. I think there will be opportunities for North Texas to come up with some sacks.
Yep.
Over under, and we saw North Texas defense line play really well against Louisiana Tech. Obviously, not nearly as good of an offense, but it was a good performance. Over under 4.5 sacks for North Texas as a team. It's a high number.
As a team, I'm gonna go under on that.
Okay. I'll say over.
Dang, it's gonna have to happen, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, let me get one more in here.
One more in here. Mm-hmm.
Actually, two. I have two. Over on these are both Austin. Over under 2.5 touchdowns. You can sit on that for a second. And then for interceptions, over under 1.5.
I'll take the under 1.5 interceptions. What about you?
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say touchdowns too. I'm gonna go over 2.5 and under, or over 1.5, under or over on both. Sorry. So I think he's gonna get 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
I'm gonna say over on both, or over on that as well. So
on touchdowns or interceptions?
On touchdowns.
Okay.
I said under interceptions. What if Austin Arnie plays the best game of his career?
They're gonna need it. I'd be happy. I've been an Ani truther since the beginning. You know?
You have been. All right, let's do it. Predictions. Game scores.
Let's go.
For those not watching, Colin is just staring at the ceiling right now.
I'm trying to do math in my head to keep my over.
A lot of points. Just a lot. Someone's in the 40s. The other team's at least in the 30s. 50s?
Let's go. That'd be bad. Let's go.
You're taking too long. I'm gonna go.
Oh, I got it. 45-38 UTSA.
Okay, so not blowing them out. You this whole podcast, you've said they're gonna blow them out, and
yeah, well, I was thinking of like how they'd get there, and I think that it'd go neck and neck, and then UTSA would go up, and then North Texas gets like 2 garbage time touchdowns. So,
yeah, so Colin the whole time was fighting me that it was
fine. I'll change it. 45-30. Is that what you want?
Yeah. Yes.
All right.
Be a man of your word.
I'm a man of my word. I was just telling you how I think it would happen in my head.
Yeah. Okay. Well, don't tell me the whole podcast it's going to go one way and then switch up.
Sorry.
It's okay. I'm going to go 42-38. That's a high score. No. They're not hitting that.
I mean, I just had 45-38. So
I know. No, well, you said 45-30.
I know. With the
okay.
revised.
No, I'm gonna say 35-31. UTSA.
I hope North Texas wins. I hope we can just like eat crow. Nothing we said matters this podcast. Wouldn't that be great?
I mean, I have the whole rant about how they're gonna put up a fight, so clip it.
Put up a fight. Is that what you want?
Gonna put up a fight.
You know who else put up a fight?
The
people at the Alamo. Yeah, that. And for what? Just to die.
Okay. Well, that's all we have for y'all today. It's gonna be an interesting one. A lot of storylines. 30-minute podcast on UTSA North Texas. Whew. It's gonna be a good one. Gonna be a good one. I mean, the two quarterbacks here are 29 and 23. College football is getting older, Colin.
Is that true?
I don't know. It feels like it's true. So.
At this rate, Frank Harris will just get to Austin on his age without going to the Yankees.
Right. Year 11, Frank Harris, quarterback.
Year 11 is crazy.
Can't wait.
What if you had we're getting off the rails. What if you had unlimited eligibility in college football?
I would just transfer to every school.
Just as long as you
I would legitimately transfer. I would try out every school for multiple reasons. I think it would be fun. Just go crazy. Okay. That's it. That's all we have for y'all today. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Leave us a like, comment, share, subscribe. Check us out on Facebook, right above my head, on Spotify, above Colin's head. Leave us a 5-star rating and review if you're listening on Apple or Spotify. We greatly appreciate it. Follow us on Twitter right below, right here.
Yep.
Good pointing. And yeah, thanks for joining us.